Welcome to the Ellsworth Air Force Base Officer First Duty Station Financial Readiness Briefing. This briefing is a requirement found in Air Force Instruction 36-3009. Please take a moment to review all the slides found in this presentation. You will notice that the final slide has the requirement for you to fill in your information. Once you've done that, you can print that slide, scan it, and email it to financial@ellsworthafrc.org. If you're unsure of what to do with the document once you've completed the training, please call us at the Airmen and Family Readiness Center, area code 605-385-4663. You'll find that your airman's personal finances may appear anywhere on a spectrum, or they may show up in multiple areas on this spectrum. You may be surprised that the majority of your airmen claim they have no idea where their money goes every month, and they are struggling trying to find ways to figure out where their money is going. Or you may be surprised to know that your mid-level NCO has just allowed his home or her home to go into foreclosure, and they're now trying to figure out all the repercussions of that decision. Do you know what referral sources are available? If not, call us at the Airmen and Family Readiness Center, and we can provide additional referral agencies, or we can see the individuals and guide them to the best possible resource available. The Airmen and Family Readiness Center has a robust financial website that can make a difference for anyone attempting to create a budget. A budget should not be looked at as a negative. It's something that everybody should have, at least a working budget, something that you can look at on a fairly frequent basis and decide if you have your money working for you or if you are working against yourself. If you're taking on more debt than what your paycheck will allow you to pay for, some changes need to be made and decisions need to be made. If you're unsure of how to do a budget, again, visit our website at ellsworthafrc.org or call us and we will guide you in the direction that we feel would be most appropriate. There may be some signs that your airman is experiencing financial difficulties. These are things to pay attention to. If you find that they are having changes in behavior, are they talking about money excessively? Don't ignore these things. If you overhear a conversation regarding their weekend plans and they say, well, I'm stuck in the dorms again because I have no money. If this is a recurring theme with that individual, maybe time for you to step in and make some referrals. The 4 R's of a successful referral: recognize the signs. What is it that has captured your attention in regard to this particular individual? Review the facts. Why did this person come to your attention? Refer the individual to the resource that may be best for that individual. You can come with the individual or you could have their direct supervisor attend the session with them. Oftentimes, if they're married or they're sharing their finances with another individual, we suggest that both parties attend the one-on-one appointment. By doing that, we'll be able to work with both of them to see how the sharing of finances can impact both positively and negatively their financial situation. It's never a bad idea to refer anyone. Re-engage, though, once you do make a referral. Re-engage with that individual. Don't just ignore them. Ask them if they got the result that they were looking for. And it's never a bad idea to set up a follow-up appointment with us or with the counselor that they saw for the initial intake and the initial financial plan. Don't assume that because they are of a certain rank, they should know better or they should already have this stuff figured out. Life happens. People get into situations that they may not have anticipated ever being in, and it's a supervisor's primary role to recognize when those individuals are struggling and to provide them the assistance that is needed the most. Many times active duty members look forward to a deployment in order to make some extra money. While this may be true for most, If they are involved in a relationship with a significant other, or if they have family members who may be involved with their finances while they're deployed, they need to make sure that they're all working off the same page. Too many times we see a significant other or a family member who's responsible for the finances of that active duty member getting involved in too much retail therapy, and that can lead to other problems, not just during the deployment but during reintegration as well. Educate yourself, first of all, regarding the issues that you see listed on this slide. You can be a much better helper when you have had experience yourself or you've gotten the information on these and many other financial topics. Call the Airmen and Family Readiness Center at 605-385-4663 to learn more. I cannot tell you how many times we have had discussions with airmen about checking their LES. And come to find out, it's not just airmen, it goes throughout all ranks. You get an LES at the end of every month or beginning of the next month. You should always pull that up and review it. Make sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary on there. As changes occur, check to ensure accuracy, and you may have to follow up and check several times. Examples of changes would be marriage, divorce, moving on base, moving off base, or obtaining dependents. If you're unsure of what the blocks on the LES mean, please give us a call. We can go through that with you. We can send you examples of an LES and what all the various columns mean. It's exciting to get your own place. One caution here is with your first place especially, keep it real. The only person that you need to impress is your banker when you go in to apply for a loan. If you go out and you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on brand new furniture and appliances, if you're buying a house, the reality is if you stay in the Air Force, you're going to move around. And are you going to be able to recoup any of those funds that you spent? Are you going to be able to ship that furniture to your gaining location? If you sell it, will you make enough off of the sale of that furniture to recoup what you paid for it? Keep all of these things in mind. I know it's great to have brand new stuff. However, having moved several times with the Air Force, the reality is when you put it on the truck, you never know what it's going to look like when you get it off the truck at your next location. So just keep that in mind. The spending plan, also known as a budget, make it work for you, make it honest. Review it frequently, adjust it as needed depending on your situation. An asset is something that you own. A liability is something that you owe, a bill, a loan, a debt of any kind. What is credit? It's buying things with a promise to pay for it later. It's always a good idea to check your credit file annually for accuracy. And you also may want to check it for identity theft and recommend that your subordinates do the same. Landlords, employers, and insurance companies are all looking at your credit score as well. We offer a free service here at the Airmen and Family Readiness Center where while you're active duty, we can pull up your credit score for free. Come over yourself or recommend that your subordinates come over before they go out to buy a vehicle, to buy a home, any large purchases. We can check their credit score for them for free. As far as pulling a credit report, www.annualcreditreport.com is the free site for you to get your credit reports. There are 3 credit reporting agencies. We recommend that you space out the time frame where you pull the reports so you get 3 free reports throughout a 12-month period. Otherwise, if you get all 3 at the same time, you'll have to wait another 12 months in order to get those for free again. What's your plan to get out of debt? Have you looked at your total balance on all debt? Too many times we see people who acknowledge that they have debt, but they only look at the minimum amount due every month, where if you were to take all of that debt and add up the total balance that you have due, at times it's overwhelming. It's very stressful for some people to do that. However, it's also a good reality check to see where you are and then make a plan to move forward. The Service Members Civil Relief Act may work for you to get a lower interest rate on some of your loans or credit cards. Identity theft is when someone else is accessing your financial information and using it for their gain. How do they get your information? There are very creative thieves out there nowadays, and they have found many ways to steal your identity, oftentimes without you even knowing it. Skimming devices are placed on ATMs, on other card readers. Gas pumps are another one that are high target areas now for identity theft. Always err on the side of caution as far as buying gas. I know it's super convenient to run your card right there at the gas pump. However, it may not be a bad idea to get in the habit of going in and having them run your card inside the store. Always check your bank accounts too. Along with checking your LES, you want to keep up on your bank accounts. If you do all your banking online, it's always a great idea to get in there a couple of times a month and just see where you're at, instead of just going to the ATM and working off the balance that you get on that receipt. Anyone can be a target. Purchasing a vehicle. Again, it comes down to separating your wants versus your needs, especially with the first vehicle. Again, keep in mind you're going to stay active duty. You may be moving around. Is it feasible for you to buy a brand new $50,000 truck or sports car when you are going to maybe look at getting stationed at a remote location, or you're going to be going overseas and you don't want to take that vehicle with you? Then what are you going to do with it? Those are all things to consider for the future, but the majority of us work on the immediate time frame. Do your research. Go to Kelley Blue Book. It's a website, and you can do the research on the vehicles that you're looking for. Look not only at what the dealer is saying, what the manufacturer is saying about the vehicle, but read the comments from customers who have purchased that vehicle. You may change your mind after reading some of those real-world annotations from people who have actually purchased that vehicle and are driving it, or maybe not driving it if they were unhappy with it. Edmunds.com is another website that you can go to get some really good information. It's a good idea to look for a vehicle that you won't have to finance for longer than 48 months. Shop around not only for your vehicle, but also for your financing. A lot of times when you go into a car dealership, they're going to have some type of financing already set up, or they have financial institutions that they partner with, and it's real easy for them to say, yeah, we can get you pre-approved, or we can get you approved for this loan, but the interest rates may not be favorable, the terms may not be favorable for you. Not a bad idea to contact your financial institution that you do business with and get pre-approved for a vehicle loan. That way, when you walk into the dealership, you know exactly how much you're willing to spend for a vehicle. If you have any questions prior to purchasing a vehicle, come in and talk with one of us at the Airman and Family Readiness Center. We'd be more than happy to assist you.
Yo, who got it better than me? Better line on the block, rolling VIP. Sick whip, thick rims, fat rocks, I got 'em. Shining like a superstar from top to bottom. You need a sugar daddy, I'm the Mac. And if you need a dollar, holla, cause I got a whole stack. What? Roman VIP.
What? Roman VIP.
Better night.
What?
Fries.
Life comes at you fast.
Thank you.
A nationwide annuity could guarantee you income for life.
Nationwide is on your side.
Why save? Why not? Saving is extremely important to you, and it should be to everyone. Saving for emergencies, it's kind of a downer to have to think of it that way, but you can also set up savings accounts for things that you look forward to, for vacations. If you want to take a cruise, instead of financing the whole thing, try to save up the majority of the cost of that vacation. And then if you do have to get some kind of financing or put some of it on credit cards, you're not going to be paying for that week-long vacation for 4 or 5 years. So just use some common sense with vacation spending. Back to savings accounts, not only should you have at least one savings account, but you should also have money that goes into it. And have money that goes into that savings account on a fairly regular basis. Don't just open it and put $50 in it and say, yeah, I have a savings account. You should be looking at growing that account. Once you have funds in a savings account and you're pretty well set with emergency funds, then you'll want to look at other investment options. Again, setting future financial goals, long-term savings, short-term savings, investing. Come in and see us at Airman and Family Readiness Center, and we can help you with some options for you to consider. Also, there are some very good websites that will guide you as far as finding the best investments for you and for your risk tolerance level.
A lot of people are like, aren't you too young to invest in the markets? And, you know, A, don't worry about it. You know, I just look young. I mean, you don't know how old I am. And B, I use E-Trade, so check it. Click. I just bought stock. You just saw me buy stock. No big deal. I mean, you know, if I can do it, you can do it. Whoa.
It's so easy. There are 1,000 new accounts a day at E-Trade.
The Thrift Savings Plan is available to you as well at www.tsp.gov. Oftentimes, people new to the military jump into the Thrift Savings Plan, and they have a percentage of their income going into that fund or into that plan, and they never look at it until it's time to separate or to retire, and they're wondering how much money they have in. Once you open that account, you will at some point in time need to go into tsp.gov and allocate your contributions. And the reason you would do that is to make sure that your money is making the most money that it possibly can for you in your life situation, wherever you are at the time. Some pitfalls to avoid: payment protection plans, any military advance loans, predatory loans.
We want to go back now to the slow economy. It has a lot of people struggling with their own finances. About 2,600 Americans have been filing for bankruptcy every day. Others are turning to a financial quick fix called payday loans. They've now grown into a $59 billion industry. But 6 states have effectively banned these loans, and tonight, our chief investigative correspondent, Armin Katayan, looks at why.
Today, there are over 23,000 payday lending stores in the U.S., more than Starbucks and McDonald's combined, providing 19 million American households a quick way to make ends meet.
Please borrow only what you feel comfortable paying back.
A typical customer takes out about 8 payday loans a year, in essence, advances on their paychecks, with interest rates approaching 400% a year. For lower and middle class families with few financial options, such loans, even at that price, are a godsend. But folks like Mary Bates now see something else, a short-term solution turned long-term trap.
An endless cycle, a dead end. I would advise anybody not to.
For Bates, it all began with a $200 loan plus interest to fix her car. But after paying it off 2 weeks later, she couldn't afford to live on what was left. So she took out another loan, starting a 2-year cycle with a variety of payday lenders that ended up costing this single mother of 2 what she says was more than $1,500 in interest to essentially float a $200 loan.
They're set there for people like me that live payday to payday. And then once you get in there, you can't get out.
It's 15 to 20 minutes, you can walk out with cash in your hand.
Terrence Gent is one of 8 former industry employees who spoke with CBS News. A former district manager, Gent says payday lenders train their workers to set hooks.
Incentives that you offer to customers to get them to become repeat borrowers.
Like take out 5 loans, get the 6th one free, or offering cash to managers of low-income apartments to refer desperate tenants. And this document obtained by CBS News reveals that among the targets for this lender is single-parent households with multiple children who are financially stretched.
We had people all the time that would come in and take out a loan to pay their retainer fee on their lawyers to file bankruptcy.
Just look at the industry's own website. We discovered that 2 of the customers profiled here actually declared bankruptcy, partly due to multiple loans from payday lenders.
The service is very transparent. There's no fine print. There's no hidden fees.
Did you know that 2 people on your website have subsequently declared bankruptcy, and they listed payday lenders as part of the reason that they were pushed over the edge.
But I think you'd find that payday lenders would be a small percentage of whatever debt people have when they do declare bankruptcy.
It's not the loan, Lindsay. It's the interest on the loan that we're talking about.
What happens without the option of taking out a payday loan? Does someone, is it better off if they bounce a check? What would you recommend that these people do?
I would do without electricity, water, whatever it would take until my next payday, until I could pay. I would not do it.
A long-term lesson about instant cash Bates hopes others won't learn the hard way. Armin Katayan, CBS News, Pinnacle, North Carolina.
High interest rate leases, really do the math on these and encourage your people to do the math on these leases. Is it going to be a good deal, or is it just throwing your money away? As you can see in these following slides, a lot of these high interest leases come with an interest rate of upwards of 232%, which is outrageous. If you were to finance those appliances or televisions or whatever it is that you want to lease, it may be less expensive for you in the long run to put those on a credit card or to get a short-term loan in order to purchase them outright. So it's no time like the present to get your game plan together. The longer you wait, the fewer dollars you'll have later on. At some point in time, all of us will look forward to retiring from the active workforce, and that's not the time to start worrying about how you're going to make ends meet, where you're going to live, how you're going to pay for things. You should start as soon as possible. If you can start in your 20s, that would be excellent. Realizing a lot of people in their 20s are not financially capable of looking towards retirement funding. However, as you get older, you definitely want to make sure that you are looking toward funding some type of a retirement account. Again, if you have any questions at all, or you need more assistance, or you want to refer your subordinates to us here at the Airmen and Family Readiness Center, our telephone number is 605-385-4663. Please verify the completion of this training by emailing this final slide to financial@ellsworthafrc.org. Include your name, rank, unit of assignment, and your training date. And if you have any questions or you need more assistance, again, call us here at the Ellsworth Air Force Base Airmen and Family Readiness Center, and let's make your financial future a positive one. Thank you for your time and your attention to this training seminar.